So good morning or good night, depending on where you are, and welcome to another interview of The Shield Doing a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today we're talking with the band Vittra, and they're a Swedish death metal band with some thrash metal influence to them. And we're talking to them because they are, if you're seeing this today, they just released Blasphemy Blues this Friday, and we're here to talk about it. And we have three members from the band. We have Gustav. Gustav is the bass player. Hey, Gustav, how are you?
Hi. Glad to be here.
Nice. We have Alex Smith, and he's the drummer. Alex, how are you?
I'm good, thank you.
Nice. And we have Johan Moormester, and he's one of the guitar players. Johan, how are you?
All good, thank you. Nice to be here.
Nice. So yeah, I gotta say the album is pretty, it's pretty like death metal, like super like great riffing. So where in Sweden are you guys? Are you in Gothenburg?
No, we're mostly around the Västerås area. It's like an hour and a half car drive from Stockholm to the west, and Johan is actually from 1.5 hour car drive north from us, basically. So
Okay.
yeah, most of us are from this town, Västerås, but Johan is from Dalarna.
Yeah.
It's called.
Nice.
Gotta call it
Westeros.
Yeah, but I guess I can understand the Gothenburg question based on the sound. I guess we have some influences from.
Well, you can make your own sound and say that no, it's from your from your area. And am I mistaken? Did someone said that you're from Westeros?
Yeah, exactly.
Västerås, yeah.
Oh, I thought that was only in Game of Thrones.
Oh, right, yeah. I see what you mean. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
So Blasphemy Blues. This is your guys' debut record, and so very exciting times. I was watching your live that you played, and you were playing some songs from the record. So Blasphemy Blues. I know you guys. Obviously, I mentioned like that Gothenburg sound, but for you guys, like creating the sound of Vittra. What were your guys' main influence? And I can go first. We can start with Gustav, then Alex, then Johan.
Yeah. So on this album, my job has basically been to interpret a lot of riffs that Johan has come up with. But I would say that my main inspiration is like technically more around Alex Webster, Cliff Burton, kind of the playing style, but my influences when it comes to writing my own riffs and interpreting others is more like towards the classic melodic Swedish metal, but also a lot of Finnish melodic metal like Children of Bodom and such. So that's where I'm like stationed, kind of.
Nice. What about you, Alex?
Well, it's I think I can speak for most of the band. When we started it, we all we all enjoy the Gothenburg stuff, like At the Gates, earlier In Flames stuff. And we also enjoy the Stockholm side of it as well, like the more gritty death metal of Entombed, and also some American stuff as well, like old school Death, Autopsy. But mainly for myself, it's drumming wise, it's mostly like Sean Reinert played in Death and Autopsy, for the jazzy, more kind of jazzy death metal stuff was a real eye opener. And Nicky Anderson from Entombed just for the creativity, and Adrian from At the Gates just because of the raw power. Nobody plays the quite like he does.
Adrian is your god, Alex. Just admit it.
He's pretty good.
Yeah, and I'm glad that Alex stated "Old in Flames," like not new one, old in Flames.
It's very important to draw a line there. But that being said, I think their newest album is actually pretty good. Or have they released the album yet? I've heard some singles from it.
No, they haven't released it yet. They released some of the singles, I believe.
Yeah, I think it's kind of a return to form. They're actually pretty good. I'm glad to hear it.
Yeah. So In Flames, if you're watching this video, Alex is a fan.
He approved the new singles. Yeah.
He approved the new single. So what about you, Johan?
Yeah, I guess, I mean, I'm quite rooted in when I started to play guitar, it was around sort of time of Justice for All, Metallica. So I mean, Justice and Puppets, and then a lot about Annihilator, Megadeth. So I think I'm very influenced by Dave Mustaine, which I think you can notice in both the riffing and the songwriting. So those are my main influences, and I think when I sort of look even now, I mean, most of the stuff on the record is quite new, but still when I sort of look back at, okay, what are the influences to the different riffs, I mean, it still goes back to sort of that period, I think. So mainly thrash metal bands, Anthrax, some Pantera, and so on. But then as Alex said, I think, of course, there's some At the Gate, some Dissection, and stuff like that. I mean, I'm not sure if it's important to me to draw a line or not, but I actually haven't listened that much to In Flames. So I think that there are similarities is more that, I mean, it's sort of the combination of the, I mean, from the area where I come from, you have a lot of Swedish folk music, and then you combine that with metal basically, and then you get In Flames. I mean, they were definitely, I mean, sort of the pioneers doing it and so on, but it's more from, yeah, having the same influences, I think.
Nice. So it's good that you mentioned And Justice for All and not Gustav, because if Gustav has said that his bass playing came from And Justice for All, I would have been like perplexed.
Yeah, we
I would have been
were
like,
having
what
that.
bass?
We were having that as a reference actually when we did the mix, but yeah, he screwed up our
Yeah,
mixing
like
engineer,
Gustav, we're gonna do the And Justice for All for you. You're gonna be
Yeah.
so buried in the mix that no one will know that you're there. Yeah, I know, that's funny. So yeah, and so the name of the band, I was reading that you first were gonna be called Band-Vittra, based on characters created by Astrid Lindgren as part of like a Swedish folk story, The Robber's Daughter, which I don't know it, but you shorten it to Vitra. What's that story about?
I can try that one. Well, Band-Vittra was actually an idea from David, our singer, who's actually home sleeping right now.
Damn
He,
Tired
singers.
old man.
yeah, exactly. No, but I guess we talked a lot about, I mean, like Swedish nature and mythology and stuff like that. And then I think Band-Vittra came up. But then there was another band. We found another band called that. So then we sort of abandoned it and shortened it down to just Vittra. Then, of course, when we had taken that band and started playing and so on, we found other bands with that name as well. But then we were already there. And so Vittra is also it's the name of some sort of mythological creatures in the middle part of Sweden as well. So I think it's a good mix of things. And then it's also, I think, an album by Nagelfar, right, Alex? I
Oh,
think
we found that out later, actually.
Yeah, we didn't know that, but yeah, I guess that's a
Damn it. It's
reference as well.
It's kind of hard to pick at. There's so many bands names that you're like, which band name hasn't been taken? But
It's really difficult.
It's a struggle for real.
yeah, like I like that you said about the mythological creature, because I'm gonna show the album artwork, because I think that's what's in the album artwork, right?
Yeah, it's a mix of things, definitely. I mean, we were trying to get something that captures, I mean, I think Gustav, I mean, you talked a lot about sort of the nature and stuff like that, the trees and stuff when we did this, and then we have the what is it called, Banshee, is it that, the Skogsrå?
Oh, I think it's the forest nymph or something like
Forest
that.
nymph, yeah.
Yeah, it's like also one of these one of our songs is about this woman in the forest who lures hunters away, young hunters away, and they kind of either disappear forever or they get changed forever, like with a trauma or something. So we decided that we were going to write something, what happens to them with the forest nymph. So then we kind of applied that to the album cover as well. And then I think we just kept adding on things, right? Like with the werewolf or whatever that cat wolf creature head is, like with
the
lycanthropy.
lycanthrope. How do you say it in English?
Yeah.
Lycanthropy.
Something.
Yeah, that's one of
Lycanthropy,
one of the singles that you put out. So
Yeah.
so that song basically that will be what the song that you guys will play when people want to cheer up. You know, oh, we have the feel good tune, the one about the
Yeah.
hunters being lost in the forest. You know, but it's metal as fuck. And
Exactly.
so is the guy with the horns Jesus?
I think
Yeah, it's
so.
zombies.
Yeah, I
Zombie
think so.
Jesus actually. Yeah, on the right.
Yeah,
It's not
on
the
the right.
first
Yeah,
song
there's a
David
guy.
has written about zombie Jesus either. I think it's like the third one.
Well, if you
No, I
think
think it's second one. You
Second one for this
yeah.
band. Third one ever.
Yeah, if you think about it, Jesus was the original zombie.
That's
Like,
true.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Exactly.
like
Oh, so-
he woke
Trendsetter.
up. Yeah, yeah, he hashtag I did it first. I'm sorry if there's some religious people. We're kidding, we're joking, but yeah, it's a great album cover, very metal. And so the name of the album, Blasphemy Blues. Why the blues part? Because blasphemy, you know, with the we were where we're seeing in the album cover, it's pretty. We know why, but why Blasphemy Blues?
Like I think
yeah.
yeah.
I go ahead, Gustav.
Yeah,
You go.
okay. Yeah, I think first off we started with like we were trying to see. I remember at least when I spoke to David about our singer, that we were talking about like what is this album? Like what if you combine all the lore and all, like basically all the lyrics, what is it about and what is the vibe of it? And we basically realized that it's just a bunch of blasphemous stories, like according to like Christianity and other big religions. And then I think we wanted it to like, I don't know, kind of be some kind of rock and roll mix of this blasphemy or some sort. And then we also I think, I don't know if we got inspiration from that afterwards or whatever, but we were thinking a bit about Wolverine blues from Entombed and such. So from what I remember, we kind of stuck with it because it's like a bit of rock and roll within all that, like to conclude kind of what we are talking about.
It rolls
Yeah, and
off
also
the tongue as well.
Yeah, and also combined with sort of our, I mean, the second guitarist that you saw. He plays with us live, and he plays with us he plays down some solos in the studio, and he's really a blues guitarist. So that actually inspired as well. Yeah,
Nice.
the feel.
Nice. So I know that I think the first single that you guys released out of this was Halls of the Ancients. Why did you pick that song as the lead single?
Actually, it was the second one. We started with the Satmara was the first one actually.
Was Satmara the first one? Okay.
Yeah. No, so Satmara is a quite direct song, I think. I mean, we had some discussions. So, well, of course, what are the best songs on the album? And I think Satmara and Lycanthropy and then Self-Loathing, that we released the video for, actually is, well, we release it tomorrow, I guess, then, or on the 11th. They got the most votes. So we started with Satmara. It's a quite direct song. You will recognize it. It's quite catchy pop song in a way. And then
the
we
beginning is very different. Yeah, more like it sounded like Spanish guitars.
Yeah,
a little bit. Yeah.
No, and then we wanted to release Lycanthropy, but we felt that they were maybe, too much focused on the melodies, both of them. So it was good to have something in between, something a bit different, and that's how we ended up with Halls as the second one, basically.
Nice. So how long did it take you guys to work on this debut record, and how did you guys form?
I think that's a Johan question, at least if we start from the beginning with how it was formed.
How it was formed, yeah. No, David put out an ad on Band Finder that I responded to, and then we we started talking, and actually we met up quite fast and started writing songs. And well, he thought I was playing maybe too much thrash metal, and I thought that he was a bit stuck in black metal, I think. But then I guess we managed to meet somewhere in between, and that's how it started. And then we were sort of, well, trying out people, trying to find new members, but it was a bit of a challenge. But then we were trying to get Alex in on guitar, but he actually wanted to play drums instead. So we figured out, okay, we can let him try, and he actually played quite well, even back then. So and then he, I mean, managed to bring Gustav with him, and yeah, like we got one for free, so to speak, the bassist.
I just came along. Yeah.
Yeah, he just came along.
So
Gustav used to play
basically,
with me in a previous band, so
nice.
I just
Yeah.
roped him into it because
So basically, what happened is Alex said, "I won't join without Gustav."
Exactly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Gustav brings that injustice for all bass sound that we need.
Exactly.
Nice, yeah, but that's awesome that you could bring him along for the try. So Alex brought Gustav. Did you guys make him like pass like the ring of fire and like have to do like a very rigorous audition?
Oh, we just turned
No,
the
he-
bass down and it was sounded great.
Yeah, and I think actually he wore like a Megadeth Rust in Peace T-shirt or something on the first time we met. Then it was, I mean, then it was good, all set.
Yes,
Pure
I
luck.
missed that the old Megadeth bass sound, but that bassist, he blew it on the internet literally.
Yeah.
Literally.
Hard not to bring that one up when talking.
Oh yeah, no,
about
you have to bring that up. You know, it's
yeah,
just
it's
too,
a must. Yeah.
it's just too funny not to
Yeah.
touch upon that. Yeah, but that's awesome. And you know, the album, you know, it's really fun, really fast paced. You got the death metal, and I could hear thrash metal in there as well. And the logo of the band looks very metal as well. So is there like, so you're releasing a video tomorrow for which song?
Self-loathing.
Self-loathing.
So what's that song about?
I think that's a
It's-
David question,
David?
but he's
Uh,
not here.
Someone
So
call him and wake him up. I'm
no,
like,
but
you-
it's about self getting high on self-pity, really. It's about him not feeling well and yeah, feeling bad about himself, and
he
all
was
that
in a dark
stuff.
place when he wrote it, I think.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
yeah, you guys need
So-
a feel happy song. To like
Yeah,
maybe for the
exactly.
second record, like the death thrash metal anthem that's just like to go party and drink beers.
Oh, yeah.
And you play to have that one just, you know, just to soften the crowd a little bit. But yeah, no, it's really cool, and I like the artwork. And I was seeing the live. I know that you guys have CDs, no vinyl yet, so people, you have to wait for the vinyl. So you're going to see how the CDs are selling, and I also saw on the live that you have a show. I think next week. Is it gonna be like an album release show?
Yeah, I guess it is, in a way, since it's the first show after the release, in a way. So yeah, so it'd be really fun, actually. Yeah.
Where are you guys? Where's the show, and how many are you like? Is there all some other bands playing with you guys?
Yeah, actually, it's actually my own club. I started a metal club in my hometown. So we have like well, 3 bands playing on the club nights. So it would be a sort of a death and roll band, local band, and then a more of a death metal band, Entomb style or Dismember style from Stockholm. We're playing with us as well. So hopefully somewhere around, sure, 150 people or something. So it should be a good evening, a good night.
Yeah, that's awesome that you have your own club. So you always have somewhere to play.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Yeah.
the only way.
Yeah, I don't know what it's like in Sweden, like because right currently I'm in Miami, and there's like two venues for bands to play, like smaller bands. And I'm originally from Puerto Rico. In Puerto Rico, we have like smaller clubs as well. But uh, when I think of Sweden, I think of metal. Maybe I'm wrong, but like, do you have like a lot of like places for bands to play over there?
Like
Not in
that's
our, not in Westeros, our own city. We used to have one club. Well, when me and Gustav started playing music, at least there was one club in town that did death metal shows. And back in the day, there used to be a lot more. Like Motorhead played Westeros, and Zeke, a punk band, and a bunch of great bands. And there were a bunch of great venues as well, but they've all disappeared now. So there's basically nowhere to play and drink beer at the same time in town. You have to jump through a lot of hoops to get there. In Stockholm, it's different. There's a lot of places to play in Stockholm, but
Nice. Yeah.
I think as
I
well for Gothenburg. But the small towns don't really have that much. There's usually one
And
or
I
two venues.
uh, and I guess a lot closed down as well during the
Yeah,
pandemic, but now it's starting to open up again. But then I guess for our style of music, it's still a bit limited. I mean, it's quite well, either you have some smaller local clubs, and then it's like big outdoor festivals. So it's a quite big step, really.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm like bummer. I thought like when I imagine Sweden, I'm like there's clubs for metal everywhere.
No, unfortunately not. But
it's,
a lot of good bands, a lot of good bands, I think.
I was
uh,
about to add something about that. I don't know if it's a valid claim or not, but I think like the running joke, or I don't know if it's a running joke, but at least from what I've heard, is that in Sweden we have like too many bands for people and too like few listeners and too few like venues where you can actually play. Like there's a bunch of bands, but there is basically too few fans or
promoters.
promoters and everything like surrounding like having a band basically. So
Johan is
yeah,
doing his part.
yeah,
That's
everything.
good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like every band, like you need to be on Johan's good side,
Exactly.
so you can
From now
play
on.
in the club. So now that you're releasing the album, are there like besides the show that you're playing next week, are there like plans to go on a tour, maybe surrounding places in Europe? What's cooking for Vittra?
I think, I mean, that's where we need to now improve. I think we have a quite good foundation now for the release with like I mean the promo companies that we're working with and so on, or the PR companies, but we don't have a booking company yet, and that's the sort of challenging part. So I mean, I think we need to get out there and do the shows that we can get, and sort of build from there. That's basically it, and start earning some sort of live reputation, which I guess we don't have yet. So hopefully it will improve during next year. That's what we'll work on.
Yeah, every band starts somewhere,
Yeah.
like uh, it's the beginning. And I love interviewing like newer bands and getting the gist of it. So yeah, the album is pretty cool. So I think people that like death metal, thrash metal, and especially that Sweden sound, I don't want to say Gothenburg because you're not Gothenburg, but that type of sound will enjoy it. So before I let you guys go, because I'm sure you're tired and ready for your album release tomorrow or today, because I'm going to post this Friday so people can know that the album is out today, Friday. So
Cool.
if you guys like, I'm going to ask each and every one of you, like, what is that one record that for you means everything? That record that you can't live without. Let's start
Oh,
with
Oh my
Gustav.
god. Oh man.
If you say Injustice for All, it will be very funny.
Oh, it's not justice. But if I have to go back, well, we're somewhere in the 80s, I think. It's hard to
If you don't,
say.
if you can remember the 80s, there was a lot of cocaine involved in the 80s.
Oh
Especially in
man,
Miami, I might imagine.
Oh, I didn't live here in the 80s, but Miami was built on cocaine.
I mean, we've all seen Scarface, you know.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's almost, but yeah, Gustav, what's that one record that
like
inspires you?
like I have to say, like if it's about a record in particular, I would say that it's probably like Among the Living by Anthrax.
That's a great
Like
bass on that
yeah,
record.
like it's crazy good bass. Frank Bello is just he's just great on that album, on every album, in my opinion. But
Yeah,
that
and he
album,
has that style that he does like the finger picking,
yeah,
right?
and he's really good at it as well. And like when it comes to playing, like influences, like it's probably one of those albums that I've like jammed to the most in my life or something. So like in all categories, I would have to say Among the Living by Anthrax.
Nice. What about you, Alex? Which album like inspired you maybe to become a drummer?
Yeah, well, I was gonna say another one just for music in general, but I guess in that case it would be Clandestine by Entombed, because Nick
Nice.
Anderson is just off the rails on that album. You can hear like they're like 19 years old or whatever, most of them on that record, and they're just doing everything they can, just throwing in as much stuff as possible. You know, it's all over the place, and it's so good.
Nice. And you
And
you look 19.
I'm 24, but it's because
You're
I shaved off
24?
the beard.
Oh, if you told me that you're 18, I would believe you.
I would too.
No, but I think that I learned the drums by practicing to that record, which is, I
Yeah.
guess, just starting on expert mode, I guess.
That's awesome.
But
And Alex,
but
if you ever come on tour in the United States, bring your license because they're gonna ask for it. They're gonna be like, "How old are you?"
He
Like,
usually has a beard or something, but
oh
yeah,
yeah, the
usually,
beard. Yeah, the beard makes. Yeah, that's like the beard is like the push-up bra for guys. Like,
exactly.
exactly.
Well, I've got the
yeah.
American passport, so that should work.
So, what about you, Johan? What's that album that inspires you?
There are so many, but I think I'll go for Rust in Peace then with Megadeth. I think it's a really good album, and I still can't play it as good as I would like to. So still, it's both about inspiration and about developing as a guitar player.
Oh yeah, I think Dave Mustaine on that album was at the top of his game. Like it's just amazing. I have it on vinyl and it sounds great. So what for the people watching now, the album is out, the Vittra album, Blasphemy Blues. What do you want to say to fans, and what can they expect from Vittra in the next few months?
I mean, if they listen to the album, I think one thing is that when you listen to it from sort of start to finish, you want to listen to it over again, and I think that's really, I mean, what's the word? I mean, of course, something really positive, because
Yeah.
it still gives me that feeling, and I mean, I've been listening to it a lot. I should be sick of it, but I actually think it's still good. Yeah, they should really try it out, and then I mean, we'll work on getting out there. I mean, if we would be able to go overseas from our perspective, that would of course be really cool, but might be tough on this one. So I guess we'll do it on the next album cycle.
Yeah, book us.
Yeah, just
That's
start
my
building.
message.
Yeah, start building the people that are going to listen to the music. And yeah, I think that a great album is something that you want to replay, and it should be enjoyable. So guys, it's been a great chatting to you and getting to meet you guys. So I know it has to be pretty late over there in Sweden, and I don't know where Johan is, but I've been scared with some of the cars that have passed next to him, like super close and super fast. And I'm like, I
Yeah,
fear for your life.
Yeah, no, it's fine. But yeah, I'm on my way home. I need to start driving, so I still have like an hour's drive left. So
It's a good thing that you did the interview without driving.
yeah.
That would have been dangerous. But yeah, everyone, Vittra, Blasphemy Blues. I'm gonna show the artwork again. It's out on CD, and I'll put the link. I know that the link tree, so they have all the links where they can pre-order the album and buy it physically if you so choose to. And just look at this album cover. If this isn't metal enough for you, I don't know what you guys want. Like, look at the blood,
Yeah.
look at the green eyes, look at the forest. Like, there's some heavy shit right here. So there you go. Listen to
Yeah, and I
the
actually
Blasphemy. Mhm.
and I actually have to say, I know that the CD release is delayed in the US, so it's actually not there yet. We had some transportation issues. So, but if you really want it on CD, just let us know, and then we'll send it to
Yeah,
you. So
send it and just listen to it on streaming and stop with like whining like a little bitch and just listen to streaming while the record gets to you.
yes,
This
Exactly.
is something that we didn't have growing up. Like we had to listen to the record when it came out. Like kids today can't complain. Life is super easy now for you guys. Like you can listen to albums at 12 midnight when they go online. Back then, you bought an album, and if the album had two good songs and the rest sucked, you were screwed because you bought it.
Yeah, it's a total luxury, you know.
It
But
is.
at the same time, I somewhat wish that was like it was back in the days because I'd have a lot more vinyl.
Oh yeah, but well, vinyl right now it's pretty popular. But yeah, back then, like people bought albums because of the singles and the album covers. But nowadays, there's certain even bands that when the album's going to be released, they release already half of it. So
Yeah,
yeah, it's right. Like right now, there's like if you listen to something and you like it, it's you can always buy it. So Gustav, Alex, Johan. I want to thank you for taking time out of your night to chat with me. So I'll let you guys go so Johan can get to his house and sleep, and you guys can do everything and get ready for the release of Blasphemy Blues. So, people, Blasphemy Blues by Vittra. Check it out if you're a fan of death metal and thrash metal because it's a new band, a debut, and it kicks ass. So, until next time, people, this is Hector, the Shield on a Couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and good night.